So tonight is Kenneth Chu's Hot Seat in Entrennial University, and we have three amazing mentors. We have Charlie Rogers, we have Phil Sheng, and we have Laura Pence Atencio. They are going to help Kenneth move his business forward by asking the hard questions, providing great advice so that Kenneth can create a very successful business to scale and create amazing impact on the world. So first we're going to introduce the mentors, and then we're going to get into Kenneth and really get into the hot seat. So Laura Pence Atencio, please tell us all about you.
All about me. Hi, I'm Laura Pence Atencio, also known as Social Savvy Geek. I host a radio and podcast show called The Social Savvy Geek Show. We went really creative with the branding there. I help influencers who are speakers, authors, and coaches to build an online digital platform to present themselves to the world, get their message seen and heard, and develop online relationships with the right people to further their careers. And I have been doing this full time since 2010, and I love it.
Awesome. Thank you, Laura. So Charlie, could you tell us a little bit about you and what you do?
Absolutely. And my name is Charlie Rogers. I'm the CEO and president of Innovative Software Solutions. We are a custom software development firm. We've been around for about 15 years. We have locations across the United States, and we have an affinity for helping entrepreneurs to realize their dreams by helping them to create their software solutions and start their business. So I'm very excited to be a part of this and to talk to Kenneth and learn a little bit about his ideas.
Awesome. Thank you, Charlie. And last but not least, Phil Sheng, please tell us a little bit about you and what you do.
Hey guys, I'm Phil Chang. I'm also known as Retail Phil. I run a podcast called This Commerce Life as well that's aimed at small, medium businesses. So I'm kind of really immersed in the world of just helping entrepreneurs and small businesses grow. I kind of have a world of experience. So I'm the guy that can go from bricks and mortar to e-com, and I can go digital to old school media. And so I kind of run the world of small business to very big kind of Fortune 500 where my experience comes from. So I am just excited to be here to pitch in and help out. I love helping brands and retailers and small businesses grow. And so I'm just excited. That's all.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, Phil. Really appreciate it. Thank you, mentors, for being here. We love you being here with all your amazing expertise. And so let's move on over to Kenneth, the Entrennial of the hour. Kenneth, please tell us who you are, where you are, and what you are doing in business.
Wow. I'm Kenneth Chu. I'm from Singapore. It's disclaimer because a lot of people think that Singapore is a part of China, but in fact, Singapore is just a tiny island in Southeast Asia, just below Malaysia. If you are familiar with Southeast Asia, maybe it's Thailand, that's the nearest. So for me, I'm the author of Mother Industrialist, Perfecting the Balance Between Motherhood and Business Success. And the book is, I interview and features mompreneurs, meaning mothers who start a business because they want to spend more time with their children. And these 15 mompreneurs are mompreneurs I worked with in the past 10 years, because 9 years ago, I was working for a parenting magazine as an advertising salesperson. So that's where most of my clients, they are mothers, and they start a business because they want to spend more time with their children, and most of their products or services are revolving around motherhood. And at the same time, I'm also a founder of Hasty Creative Marketing, where we provide designing services and marketing consulting. So in fact, my book is going, it's on print now. It will be out in another 2 to 3 weeks time. So really excited for my book, and I wish that through this session, I'm able to have some advice to really how to move forward, because becoming an author and being an own business owner is so much different. So we'd like to hear from the mentors, like what are your thoughts, especially moving forward as being an author, and also how to integrate the authorship into my business, the creative and marketing aspect of it. Yep. So
Awesome.
Is that good?
That was great. Thank you so much, Kenneth. So to help our mentors really know how to help you, what is the biggest pressing concern that you have that you just haven't quite overcome to get your business to grow?
I guess at this point of time, I'm lost because maybe a brief background about myself. I've been in media sales and marketing in the past 9 years. From an advertising salesperson in a publishing house, I was with our local TV station selling TV ads, TV airtimes, and when it integrated into radio, into newspaper, into outdoor advertising, I'm managing all that. So I've really a broad spectrum of experience in advertising, media, and also in terms of marketing, because for us, we work very closely with marketers. So there's a lot of marketing ideas, the tips. Sometimes I do contribute in order to help me to sell my advertisement space better. And also because the spectrum is big, but all these are in the past, I would say like traditional media, like TV, radio, all these are like, is sunsetting, and I'm moving towards digital and internet, which is maybe about 2 to 3 years experience in that, and also doing designing services currently with my business, and also marketing, which I find that is very competitive, and the duration of the sales pitch to a client, especially to get a marketing retainer, is there's no guarantee. It means after negotiation, after 2 to 3 months, it will turn. It may not be fruitful, and it may not turn out. I may not get a job, and it's the same for even any designing job. It's like a price war, especially in Singapore. Everybody's like offering the lowest price, guarantee the highest quality, and stuff like that. And that is also the reason why when I met my publisher, Black Card Books, and I decided to write a book, and the publishing team helped me to they kind of like connect back all the dots, and they realized, hey, Kenneth, you are connected with all the mompreneurs back in 9 years ago, and in your previous company, you are connected back with them. Why not you interview them, feature their story, and because of your experience in working with mompreneurs, you are able to help those mothers who want to spend more time with their children, or even to step into entrepreneurship, to allow them to help them to maybe to earn an additional income to help with the household, or even potentially become a business. So that idea works. I can resonate with it, and I'm able to help. Is now I'm lost in a way that because I have my creative marketing company that I'm building, although the projects are not coming as much, but a lot of my focus is on the book now, and now the book is coming out. So that's where I'm thinking that should I drop off the business and really focusing on the book and do things around the book, or maybe create events. And currently I'm also having my own podcast and video shows, interviewing mompreneurs, and kind of I've interviewed like 30, coming to 32 of them. So I'm wrapping it up because it's I'm just thinking, how am I going to proceed on with whatever that I have on my basket, and should I drop off one, or should I focus on one? So yeah, so that is the situation I'm now. Yeah, so maybe you can hear from mentors. It's quite a lot of things, right?
You've got a big basket.
Yes, yeah. So that's why I'm pretty stretched, and whatever direction I'm spreading myself thin, and I recognize that I have this tendency of I get bored with things easily, so that's why I'm moving to a lot of places. But at the same time, I know that I need to focus. So, which the book itself, Mother Industrialist, is kind of I would say that the thing that I would really want to focus on, that will get more of my energy. I would love to do it, but how do I start from there? Yeah.
Any mentors who like to volunteer first?
Well, I would say something to that, Kenneth. You sound a lot like me, Kenneth, in that I like piling my basket full of goodies. And I remember being at home sometimes, sitting and talking to my wife, and felt she almost felt like I was depressed because I had so many things in my basket, and I couldn't decide what I want to do. And she gave me some great advice, and it's been working with me ever since I've done that. And that is share the pain. That's what she would tell me, share the pain.
Share the pain.
Yeah, and what she meant by that is to create myself a leadership team or a think tank team, which I can then share these items in my basket with. So now at my job, I have a leadership team, and that leadership team helped me keep that basket empty, but I could then focus on the main thing that I need to be focusing on. I always say keep the main thing, and whatever that is that's what you should be focusing on. But then use your leadership team to help you with the other things that you want to complete this in your basket as well. So find a way that you can offload some of that with some support team, if you have access to a support team.
Okay.
I have questions. I don't have any advice yet, but I have lots of questions. I guess what I want to understand is, like, I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs are in that boat where we have, I think entrepreneurs in general are ideators, so we think a lot about things that we want to do. I actually joke about this because since I left my last job where I got a regular paycheck and I work for myself now, my boss is such a jerk, right? Like, is full of things to do. Like, this is why I'm up late every night, right? Because I'm always thinking about things. But to me, like, I guess what I'm wondering is, I'll give you me as an example. I have a three-legged stool I'm after, right? So I want to be able to teach at local colleges. I want to be able to podcast and hopefully make a living at it, or a modest living at it. And then I want to do consulting and teaching, like as a guide, so that I can kind of make a three-legged stool that I can sit on and kind of be comfortable on. And I guess for you, I think I hear a lot of things, but I don't know if they all, like, whether the plan for you is that they should all fit into like a three-legged stool or four or a six-legged, like a piano bench or like a picnic bench, or like, I guess probably what I'm after is, like, do you have the book? Do you see it as being something that you would commercially launch off of, or is this something that you need to build a reputation out of? So I guess I need to understand a little bit more about that. The agency part, I understand. I understand all of it, the bidding, the lowest dollar, and how hard it is to get contracts. So I get all of that. And then I'm curious as to where the mompreneurs fit. It sounds like there's a really cool kind of like podcast content bit, but I don't know if there's monetization in there. So I'm wondering how that all fits to see, how you intend to kind of run yourself. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, I get. In fact, that is something that maybe to answer to Phil, I would say that kind of like I'm not certain, because I see light and hope in pushing out the book. And for the podcast, meantime is I did thought of monetizing it, and I'm working out something on that. That's where I'm wrapping up season 1 to really spend some time to first thing to repurpose season 1 to see how I can leverage on that, because there's a lot of content that I could use that to drive and also to create to find a way to monetize it, working with different partners. And season 2, I'm because with season 1 I'm able to use it as like a case study or like a beta to show people that, hey, I got all this content. And moving on to season 2, I'm finding I would say guests that has the money. Like season 2 will be more on health, so I'm approaching the health experts to bring them online to clear some myth about health, or maybe chiropractor, all these profession people, that they can add value. At the same time, it's a form of marketing for them. So I'm trying to do out various packages that I could offer to them. It could be of a free. It could be on free, but if let's say they want more mileage on that, then there will be certain basic packages that they come with I would say, entitlements or exposure, like logo exposure in different media. So that is what I'm crafting out. So that I hope that will answer the monetization of the podcast, because without the first season, I will not be able to see where is it going, where is it going, and there's no example to show people. Especially if you want to get money from people, you have to show that, okay, whatever podcast you have done, what are the reach, what are the content that you're doing out, what value are you giving out to the mothers. So I'm using that as an example to pitch to the health expert or any clients or any guest that's coming up with a business, how I can help them to spread the word or market their product. And going back to like me having an agency, and also on the book itself, I would say that the positioning will be as speaker, as international speaker, at the same time to have a one-to-one coaching with mothers who wish to step into entrepreneurship. And I guess that would be the route to it, and also to create one workshop that, because I've seen there's a lot of workshops that I've attended, they always have this tendency of upselling, but as knowing about mothers, they want to get things really done for them, like maybe at one time, and after that, if you need any additional stuff, I will have a guidebook to guide them throughout the whole journey. And if the guidebook does not help, then that's where they come to me as for one-to-one. So that is my, I would say, the vision for all this program. So how is what would be the advice to take forward, and also maybe to answer Charlie's the advice that Charlie's has suggested, which is to build a leadership team. Currently now I'm looking for people to kind of to build a support team for the agency side, because agency side there are still requests and demand, just that because I'm so much sunk in the book itself, Mother Industrialist, that I have very little time for me to put on the agency part, where
Charlie, you're hired.
Quotation and because of all the admin stuff and the nitty-gritty stuff, like quotation and follow up, and that is taking a lot of time. So I'm in fact this month onwards I'm starting on that to get people, and also to leverage on because in Singapore we have government grants for startups and any enterprise. So I'm leveraging on those grants to help me to hire people, to help me to settle all the nitty-gritty stuff, or the things that I'm not good at, or the things that I don't like to do, like admin, accounting, and all that stuff. Yeah. So I'm outsourcing all that. So I'm building at the same time, which is very good. And also to find a leadership team, I guess it takes time, and also the team has to have the same vision. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Really yeah. So thanks a lot. So I hope I answered Phil, and also Does that answer you?
It sounds like you're unfocused.
Yeah.
So from a marketing standpoint, you've got the podcast and the show as a way to get eyeballs on what you're doing. And now you have a lead magnet, or a way to engage people with your book. You've identified your tribe and the people you can help and serve as mompreneurs. You're already speaking to them. So if your end goal is to get them into an agency, which is outsourcing, then the only thing you're missing in the middle is you, which is your coaching or your membership or your monetization piece with your speaking engagements. So that's where your monetization comes in, and then you help people. And I know that you said the market is saturated, but it's not saturated with you. There's only one of you.
Yeah.
And you have a tribe, and who else is marketing exactly to the people that you're marketing to? I don't think mompreneurs is a saturated market, especially as somebody from your background, where you can come in and say, I can teach you how to present yourself in such a way that you can get sponsorships and advertisements. That's harder than you think that it is.
Oh, that's a very good angle, because
that's something that most people struggle with, and you handle that with ease. So if you have your audience and you can help them with that, and then you can pass through work to an agency, you just need to focus and develop your path.
Okay. maybe can I just clarify, Laura? You were saying that
Yes.
because I never thought. I've always thought of like maybe to approach mothers who want to, but you set another angle, which mompreneurs that are currently they are building their business because of them so focused in the day-to-day work that they are having in the business, that the marketing, the advertisements, and also the reach out to in terms of advertisement and also marketing, that which they may not be able to focus on. Is that what you're trying to share with me?
Yeah. So I'm saying, if it sounds to me like you are a marketing agency, yes, but there's a coaching piece that's missing that lets people develop a program around what they're doing, because you have an expertise that is not common, and it's not commonly shared with people who are mompreneurs. Like the fact that they could get sponsorship or advertising is probably not something that they've developed thoughts around.
Okay.
So if you were to teach people that piece, I don't think the market is saturated there. And then if you have done for you work that's outsourced through an agency, well, yay, because you're going to teach them how to do things that then are going to be so time consuming, they're going to need help. I mean,
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
But as a author and speaker yourself, you're developing this tribe around you. So now you need a place to lead them.
Okay. It's kind of like still digesting.
Yeah, no, while you're thinking, I think Laura's kind of put it really eloquently, right? Like, I think the pieces that you have in play, they're really difficult to get. Like, if you look at most folks out there, they're usually missing two out of the, they usually have half the equation, right? And then the struggle is to get to the other half, but you're literally sitting on the cusp of the whole, the whole thing. And she's absolutely right. This is really only one of you, right? So it's really great. Like, if you couple that with Charlie's advice, whether it's leadership team or just getting support staff around you, that it's one of those things that I think most entrepreneurs, like, I'm like that. I keep everything up here, right? I don't write anything down because it's all up here. But the problem is what you need to do is you need to hand that stuff off to people and start to just wick it away, so you can do, the one thing that you need to do, right? Like, if you finish writing the book, you don't need to edit it. There are people that can do that probably do it faster and better than you, so you should let them do it, right? But I think Laura's kind of hit it right on the head.
So as a mother who is an entrepreneur, I hired help for PR and systems around advertising and sponsorships, because that's not something most women are comfortable doing. Now, I happen to hire a woman because she is comfortable doing it. But who is helping mompreneurs specifically in your area? Who you are. So if you can develop systems and processes and then show people how to use them, they're going to want that, I feel. I mean, do market research, but.
Okay, that is a very interesting part that Laura, which is I can't think of anyone that is doing it for them, especially the mompreneurs. So, but I would maybe you could share me maybe an example, like how, like a type of service that I could.
Well, you've already interviewed what, 30 of us?
Yeah.
And if you find the common struggle amongst mompreneurs in the realm of advertising, sponsorships, and marketing, then you can close the gap. What is it that we're saying that we're struggling with? I don't struggle with marketing because it's what I do. However, there are plenty of mompreneurs who are saying, I have a product or a service or something, and I don't know how to take it to market. And when I'm ready to take it to market, I don't have funding for that help. So
I get it. It's how to to solve their problems that they are facing, especially in terms of like, okay, maybe the common stuff will be like time management and also system in place for them to follow up with their clients, kind of like a CRM for them, but it's very pertaining to content that is very mothers centric. Yeah.
I was thinking more of your knowledge along the lines of advertising and marketing, because you have dealt with traditional media and now you're doing online media, and people don't know how to bridge that gap. They don't know where they should focus. What should they be in radio? Should they be in magazines? Should they be online? What is the proper marketing mix for these people? And you have connections and contacts already. You know the answer to this question. So if you help people decide what is the system or process they should follow to bring their business to market, and then if they need marketing support, you have your agency.
Okay. I see that link. That I could build on that. Thanks a lot, Laura.
You're welcome.
And the problem you're trying to solve, Kenneth, is not just a mompreneur problem. I have the same problem. My company has been around for 15 years. And I can't tell you how many marketing consultants I've gone through trying to solve just this problem for a business that's, in thousands of places out there across the country. So it's a big problem. The fact that you're focusing on moms, and like I said, you pick the niche that you can go in and provide a service that I absolutely know they would need, because it's universal. Everyone needs it, but no one is focusing just on the mom. And that's
until now.
Unique. It's very unique.
Wow. Suddenly I see lights and more direction now. Yeah.
You're already doing it, so do it.
Just that I'm not conscious of that. I'm doing it.
But you're interviewing mompreneurs, and you've written a book featuring mompreneurs, and you already have talent. So if you focus those talents on the market you're already serving, I thought you were already doing that. I was surprised when you said that you weren't.
Okay. In fact, I was focusing on mothers that are not mompreneurs yet, but I guess that's the reason why I'm facing struggles and difficulties. Because the mindset is really different. Because the first thing to shift the mothers to mompreneur is the mindset. Whether is it meant for them, although they know that it's meant for them, are they going to make that switch, that leap of faith into building something, which is what I'm struggling with, which it will take time. But when you mentioned that how to help the mompreneurs, I was like, hey, why didn't I think of that? Although I'm doing it in a way like I'm interviewing mompreneurs, showcasing the business in a way, but all this I'm doing it, I would say, like a startup, and also doing it for free and building it content. But I never thought that all this helping them to have advertisement or marketing, or I've never really zoomed on that. And also to help them to get advertisement, that is a very good either helping them to market out, or if let's say they have built a brand that people will want to leverage on their followers, like on the advertisement. So that is something.
Long term, you're building a platform that people may eventually want to pay to participate in. That's the way you can monetize down the road. But for now, the systems and processes and things you already have in your mind of how to bring things to market. You've dealt with magazines, you've dealt with radio, you know how to do ad buying and those types of things. So you already have a working knowledge of how to be in the space. So if you bring that to the people you're already serving, that's a great place to start. You can, because you've got to do something now and then have a long-term plan too. I mean, I didn't start out having a radio show and a book and an agency and a coaching business. You add on a piece, perfect that, and then add things on. And you have to decide where you're going to meet these people now. So if you're helping people transition from being a mother to being a mompreneur, that's one avatar or ideal client. And you're meeting them in that space. And that's something maybe you have an online program membership site, you use this content for them, and it's, a lower cost because these people might not necessarily already have the income to support a higher price point. But once they are in business, then you can charge more for the coaching piece to take them to the next level. But you need to just focus first on one and then expand.
So which is the mompreneurs that are really connected with them, just to how to help them to reach out in terms of media planning, and also which media is suitable for them to advertise or even to market. Okay.
And how to do it effectively and efficiently, and how to reduce their ad spend and get maximum bang for their buck, you know?
Yep.
Because you know how to do that. Most people don't know how to do that. You've been in the trenches. You know the ropes. You can take people by the hand and say, I can show you how to do this.
True. I'm just recalling a lot of time that in the past when I help my clients, although I'm selling like maybe a magazine, but I'm able to advise them on other parts, which I never thought that it will benefit the mompreneurs in particular.
Because you know it from both sides. You can make it win for the media and win for the moms, because you've been in the buying side and the producing side, and you have a unique position. Use it.
So is it more like a media consultant kind of stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
And it could be a coaching program or consulting. You'll have to decide how best to monetize that. But wrap your brain around it. Think about it. Don't just jump in.
Definitely. Yep. Good. Thanks a lot, Laura.
You're welcome.
Sound like you have a great helper out there named Laura, Kenny.
No, I guess everyone have like kind of like fixing and chip in different parts. Like the leadership team is really something that we need to look at. And in fact, one of the questions, like maybe to what Charlie has shared, like to build a leadership team, do you mean that to employ people, or do you mean by getting like-minded people, business partner, or even like joint venture? Do you mean that, or is you own that leadership team yourself, is under the company?
Yeah, what I was referring to as a leadership team under the company is like-minded individuals that they're not necessarily yes men or yes ladies, but they're people that you can give responsibilities to and leave them alone and trust they're going to solve the problem in a way that you're going to be happy with. They may not solve it exactly the way you would solve it, but they will solve the problem. Whereas if you keep these problems on your list, you become a bottleneck to yourself. Right? And
preach it. We've all been there.
So the goal is to take yourself out of the loop of holding yourself down, and sharing that with other people that they will eventually have that same passion you have. You give them something and give them ownership and being responsible for that. And then you can then focus on the main thing. Like I always say, the main thing is keep the main thing the main thing. And that's what you should be focusing on. And then allowing your leadership team to focus on those other things that they can go off and solve while you focusing on the main things.
Okay.
If I can add to that too, I think Charlie's got a great idea. I think one of the things that you can do as well is if you're someone who has trouble kind of letting go of things.
I think everyone on this call has their problem.
What is also, rather than kind of setting in place a team that you've got to figure out how to work group dynamics and all those things around. Baby steps is okay too, right? Like find yourself someone that you can work with who is a doer, like that kind of solid gold doer that you would just go, I have an idea. I have an idea, right? Like this is my idea. And then if you get confidence in that one person, there's an exercise in leadership there too, where you can say, look, like as soon as I've filled your bucket and it's too full, let's hire someone to help you, because you're kind of that person that understands who I am and what I need. And you'll build a team that way as well. So it might be an evolutionary process. So don't think like Charlie's got a great idea. If you've got trusted people that you can literally lean on now, you could do that. But if you don't, kind of finding that one doer that you can lean on will help you a lot, because they'll be that person that goes, no, you're insane. Like, you just can't, no way you can do that. Right. Like, I think we all have one of those, right?
Well, and you need your big idea people, and you need your implementation and detail people. And they can't be the same person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And maybe a question to pose to all, like constantly I'm finding all these dual people, but do you guys face, like, when you find all these people, they may be other business owner, they may be focusing on their other stuff, although they're as passionate to help you, but over the months they just kind of like died off and they fade off. And what is your next step? Because ultimately you will still be the one that is doing everything back again. What's your advice on that? Like, what?
Well, you need to be the leader and keep people on target, and have your own mentors and people to keep you accountable. But you're the leader, you're the captain. So it's up to you to keep people going. But if somebody becomes disinterested, then it's time to move on, let them go. But I found for myself, I need my own coaches to keep me moving forward and help me accountable to make sure that things get done, as well as, people to actually do the work. But sometimes I get bogged down in trying to do things, and they're like, stop doing that. You're the captain. I'm the voice, I'm the face, I'm the idea person. And as much as I could be the implementation person, that's not my job anymore. I have to let that part go. And so you're going to have to decide, which part are you doing? And as the leader of your organization, I suggest that you become the idea person and not the implementation person.
Okay, that's good.
And I think Phil hit it on the nose. It's hard for any of us to let stuff go. Right?
Yes.
It's very hard to do. It took. I mean, I've had my company for 15 years, and it probably took me until year 12 before I learned how to start letting things go.
And doesn't it make such a huge difference, though?
It makes a huge difference. And something else I had to accept is that no one is going to do it as well as I can.
Yeah.
Right? Because no one is going to have the same passion.
Yeah.
And
they also don't see it the way you like.
You don't.
What you have in here is like, here is a scary place for all of us.
Exactly.
They don't see it the way you do, but it'll come out a bit differently, but it'll still it'll work.
But
right? Like,
if you get organized, you can document your systems and processes. Yep. And then when you hand it off to someone, you will find the gaps very fast.
Exactly.
And it's not going to go smoothly. Like for the radio show, I have a content strategist and a copywriter, and I had to fire the first one. It did not work out. And I love the girl. She is a sweetheart. Don't get me wrong. I really like her as a person, but as a team member, it wasn't working. So I had to let her go and bring on someone else. And now Caitlin's a dream. It's wonderful. But she's helped me find some broken pieces, and we fix them and we move on. And it's great.
I think Laura said a key word: systems. You need to build systems.
I'm ridiculously organized, and it helps. It helps. Well, I was an engineer for the Virginia Army National Guard. I'm very, systems and processes. You got to do it. And if it's not your thing, if it's not your genius, then that's where you hire help.
Yep.
Yeah, I've actually. So I'm not a systems person at all. I'm a pure chaos. Run at it and get it. In the early days, what helped a lot actually was just finding a ton of apps, right, that filled in all the things that I absolutely hate doing. Like perfect example is I use Expensify for all of my receipts. I bought myself a laptop, and literally within 3 hours I lost the receipt because I'm just that.
Oh no!
I'm that guy, right? Like I'm that guy, but I took a picture of it, so it was fine, right? So I could return it. But
Yes.
I think it's kind of like all of those things, like anything that you can do to transfer, right? Because you know, you're a sales guy, so you understand this, right? Like top of the funnel gets you stuff out of the bottom, right?
All right.
And so as the ideator in all of this, if you don't keep throwing things in the top of the funnel, nothing comes out of the bottom, right? And you're the only guy that can throw it, whether it's a lead for a job for the agency or whatever, you're the lead guy. So if you're not the face that goes out and gets you speaking gigs, that you're not the guy speaking, you're not throwing things in the top of the funnel. The people at the bottom are they're gonna be doing this, going, okay, I'm ready.
Help me.
Are you ready?
Great.
Yeah,
I get it.
That's why you have value in your show, and why you have value in having that book to market to get people. Your social media is on point. You just keep doing what you're doing to fill the top of your funnel, but then you've got to have a path to lead people down and make sure you're using your whatever you're using, email, follow up, bots, all the things.
Building up systems.
Yeah. And apps are helpful. Mine was Mile IQ. I was never tracking my miles because it wasn't enough return on my investment of time. But with an app, yeah,
just ask me. You swipe it one way or
it's personal. It's business. It's personal. And I was a financial advisor, so I know. But it was not worth the time. So you have to figure out where to spend your time, as you said earlier. Kind of time management, and it's a real thing.
True.
Well, seeing that I have a computer software business, I love apps as well.
I guess it's the system itself, and there's one part that Laura's shared is about getting all the pieces out here and really document it down and really systemize it.
Yeah.
But I would say that the challenges I face is every time I load it from here onto paper, it's all over the place, and maybe I do not know how to really put it into phrases, and I do not know whether is that the right process that I want to. So what is your advice on that, or what is the advice from Phil and Charlie? Like I guess like all entrepreneurs, we have a lot of things inside, and when we unload it, it was like, hey, who can help me with this?
Right.
Like even we piece them together, does it make sense? Yeah, kind of stuff. So what is your thought on that? What is your advice on that?
That's a great point, and I'm the same way. I have a lot of ideas. I don't necessarily know how to organize them. So one of the guys on my leadership team, one of the people on my leadership team, this guy is like the Jeopardy expert. You know, he has the memory that's unbelievable. He can organize. You know, you could give him 100 different colored things, and he can organize them real quickly. So on that team, he kind of helps me with that. When I have an idea, I just throw it at him like I'm throwing paint on the wall, and then he walks away. He comes back with a Picasso, and I'm going, oh, great, yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Where you know you're weak, that's where you want to find people to help you, right? Because you don't want to bog yourself down with that. You want to be able to throw that to someone and walk away, and then let them bring you back that Picasso.
Okay. Then a question to add on to follow up on the part that you shared, to find a Picasso, because at this point of time, like finance is one, and to employ people will be challenging. And third thing is, where do you find this person? You just keep looking for people, keep meeting people, or you just keep finding this, and this person will just come. What is? How
you ask Anastasia. She's gathering all the people together for you.
Yeah.
We'll talk, Kenneth.
Okay.
I'm like, Anastasia has the people. That's who you ask.
But
I
think that that's legit, right? Is you've now got Anastasia, you've got Laura, you've got Charlie, you've got me. That's a proper question to be asking us, to say, I need a doer. Like, I need a grade A, can make my madness into method, into magic sort of person. Do you guys know somebody, right? And then that's how you're gonna boil them down, because I can tell you, I don't know anyone right now, right? But you can see it. Like Laura's already thinking about. Look at I've only met her for like half an hour.
Yeah.
But in her head, she's going, "Huh? No, not that one. That one. Maybe that one."
Yeah, no, I know people. Yeah, I do. I know people.
I think what's going to happen is like it's a process, right? You do that and you keep searching, and somebody is going to pop up. Like somebody, Anastasia's probably rifling through her files right now.
Well, and it becomes like which coach or mentor is the right person for that, because what is your commitment of time? How much budget do you have to put towards that person? Like there's questions that need to be answered to match you with the right person. And that's why you get with Anastasia, so she can put you with the right person for that.
That's good.
I wanted to answer a little bit about visualizing. I visualize it. So when I have all these ideas, I have kind of a crazy system. So it's not crazy, it's rudimentary. I literally take Post-it notes, and the idea has to fit on a Post-it note, like a little square Post-it note. And then I stick it to a wall and I leave it. And then what I try and do is I come back and then I try and organize myself into clusters as I go. And then that's how I kind of got to the 3 legs that I want to do, because all the ideas, like when you have an idea and it goes away and you come back again and you look at it, sometimes it takes a bit of time, but you realize like, hey, this falls into something I really want to do because it's an output or a something of my idea. And so I started to cluster them, and then you realize like, hey, you know what? Like I've got 8 ideas that all fall into the same cluster. Now I've got myself something I can visualize. And then what I do is I keep all the sticky notes, right? So they come together and like, so now I have 3 blobs. And then if I have another great idea, but if it doesn't fit in the blob, it really becomes like, how big can this idea be? Like, can it be bigger than one of the blobs where I've stuck like all my sticky notes to? If it doesn't, it's just got to stay there. Like until somebody can figure out something crazy to do with it, it's going to stay there because now I've got these 3 blobs, right?
And that would make me crazy. I'm all like cheat sheets and checklists and spreadsheets. And I use sticky notes on my marketing calendar when I'm making my timeline work. Yeah. But it doesn't matter what your system or process is necessarily, as long as it works for you, because that works for him. And that would make me an insane person. So there's not one right way, but you have to find a way that works for you. Yeah. So that's part of finding the right person too, is making sure that their system meshes with your personality, because it's kind of like the Einstein quote about judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree. Your genius is where you need to stay, and you need to find systems and processes that suit your personality. And like, I was not always organized. I have ADHD. I went to an organizational specialist, like an occupational therapist, and learned to be organized. And it served me quite well. So it might be uncomfortable at first, but if it stays that way, perhaps a different system or process might be better.
One other thing I would add, Kenneth, is that as you are, building out your team, whether you do it the way Phil mentioned it, which was, I really like Phil's approach, is that when you find areas where you are weak, there's always books where you can read. That's so you can become an expert. Like I have a lot of areas where I'm weak in, and I read books in those areas, not so I can become an expert, but just so I can talk the jargon when I'm talking to the expert.
Exactly.
And become an avid reader. Book a week. A book a week. And accept nothing less than that. And focus on the things that you're weak in. So that then when you go to talk to the lawyer or you go to talk to the accountant, you may not be that professional, but you can use their jargon, and then they'll give you a little bit more respect.
Learn enough to ask the right questions.
Exactly.
That's a good one. That's why you can see the bookshelf that is over here. All my books, ever since I started my business. In the past, I just read comic books, and it helped me with my designing stuff. But now it's the books that help in business.
Mine are all on the iPad. And the podcasts.
Yeah.
Because I know, Kenneth, you have a daughter, so you create audio and visual material. And I don't read as much as I used to because my 4-year-old will literally tear things from my hands.
Yeah.
But she listens to Amy Porterfield with me on my commute. I'm feeding her entrepreneurial brain. She doesn't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. And in fact, I'm converting my live shows to audio podcasts, and
Awesome.
I'm receiving traction on that. And so I just that the time to take to convert and also to take out certain stuff, that will take time. But I've already got it fixed out. And maybe I have another question, maybe for three of you to help me with that. Is we have talked very much on like having a team, having systems that I need to be in place for the business to take off, and also like what Laura said, to really help mompreneurs with the media planning, the advertisements and sponsorship. But all this take time. Like currently, like my book is going to come out. So what will be something that I could do right now immediately in regards to my book? Example, like getting speaking gigs and stuff. And what other ways would you feel that currently I can get things done, and also maybe to get income coming in rather than to wait for all these things to be set up, because it would still take time. And before the money will come in, maybe 3 to 6 months time, all these things will be in place. What is the immediate thing that I could do now as my book is coming out, getting speaking gig, or maybe to do workshops, set up workshops or stuff like that? Maybe
get your speaking engagements. And the fastest way to immediate income for you is to do consulting from those workshops and speaking engagements, because you know so much. It's in your head. So you don't have a program to sell yet, but you already know if you have a conversation with someone about this, you can serve them and give them value. You already have it in your head. It's just not saleable in a system or process that you can sell one-to-many yet, but you can do one-to-one or small group consulting, or offer a paid mastermind where you can teach people this stuff. Because you already have the knowledge.
Are you monetizing the book as well? Like, are you going to sell it?
Yeah, I'm selling the book, and when they get the book, currently now I'm doing workshops, and workshops I invite speakers to touch on different topics, more like a facilitator. And what I do is I introduce myself as who I am, why am I doing this workshop, and a bit about my book, what my book is all about. But today it's not about me, it's about the speakers. So that's where I present them. At the end of the whole workshop, I will thank them. I will say that I have something really to offer all of you because you are here. Then I throw my book offer at a discounted, what we call seminal price. And on top of it, I add on, if you buy the book today with cash, then you get the one-to-one business kickstart strategy with me. But because these are towards mothers that may think that may want to start a business, or may want to have the business idea being planned out. That's where I can help them to kickstart with the experience, and what kind of industry they can go in, and what platform they can use. So this is what I'm offering now. So far I've done 3, and only the last one I get to sell my book, the pre-order. That means I get them to say, oh, now you pre-order, you get all these bonuses, and you get a one-to-one consultation.
So they're paying you, and also they're providing you with market research. When you do these consulting strategies with people, you're going to find out what are the common pain points. And if you take people through and make sure to ask the same questions of finding out what they need and how you can serve them best, then you can put a program together around the most common needs that you're finding amongst your audience.
Yeah.
That's how you develop your program. And there are coaches specifically for developing programs. That's not what I do. I help you promote it online and create the funnel.
Thanks a lot.
One thing I would suggest, Kenneth, is that you've been focusing on moms who are trying to become entrepreneurs. You may have a ready market if you look at mompreneurs that's already in the business that you can offer your service to.
Right.
And
Yes.
that may be a more readily available cash flow for you than it is to take a mom, to convert the mom to an entrepreneur.
Exactly. Yes.
So you may want to consider doing webinars or classes for moms as mompreneurs.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying, because that's who has the money.
That's who has
can
the
afford.
money.
That's who can afford to pay you. So for your free content, you're serving people in transition, but your paid content needs to be for people who are already there and can pay you. Yes.
Absolutely. Yes.
Are you able to build a base out of the mompreneurs that you interviewed in season 1?
What kind of base are you referring to?
I'm not an expert at this, but just the idea that's there is like, because the one thing that I think you have to figure out how to leverage is, I mean, these mompreneurs, they trust you, right? Like, trust is a really big currency that you really need in this, right? Like, people have to trust you to follow you, to buy your book, to do all those things. You have that trust. Like, I wonder if there isn't a way. Other industries have this, right? The pet industry, I don't know why that came to mind, but randomly the pet industry has, a fair number of kind of entrepreneur memberships, or like marketing memberships where you can be part of a tribe. You pay to be in it. That gets access to like an hour with you one-on-one, but it also gets them in a place where kindred spirits can hang out. You can ask questions to each other. You can kind of build. So, like, again, I'm not an expert at membership building, but you might have something there where mompreneurs can go so that they can share their pain points and be able to get access to you at the same time. That would help you with
leading the tribe. That's
right?
what exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have a Facebook group already where you're connecting people?
But it's pretty mixed. It's not really like mompreneur itself. Although I have one, but it's pretty a mix. It's not really focused. Maybe I would.
Well, you can fix that.
Yeah, I can fix that. Yeah, and because now the mompreneurs that are very active are mompreneurs that's overseas. Because like a lot of the mompreneurs I interview on my Facebook Live, very much I would say 80% are overseas. Like Laura is one of them.
Yes,
so
hello.
very much that overseas. So I see that there's more.
And we don't care where you are. We do not.
Yes, yeah. But the locals one are like very caught up with their own day to day. They may not be able to contribute that much. So that also lead to my next question, which is like, do I bring this business like really helping mompreneurs? Do I bring this business national, that means locally, or internationally, or
international?
Do both at the same time?
I think you follow the data.
International.
Yeah, follow the data, right? If the data tells you that, like, she loves you, you're on my screen. She loves you, right? Like, that's a data point for you that says, look, like, she's not, like, she doesn't care where you are.
You don't care where you are.
So, yeah.
You're fascinating. You're foreign to us. Foreign is good.
I think you follow the data. So if the data tells you that you can go wherever, you should go wherever, right? Like, that's the best part about being able to get all this information right now.
Absolutely. And matter of fact, I think you have a great speaker for your next webinar or your next class right here on, named Laura.
Sorry?
She'd be a great speaker for you.
Oh, you mean Laura?
True. Yeah. I love the talk. It's true. I get paid to do it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being part of this amazing hot seat. We are getting to the end of the hour here, and this has just been amazing. Oh my gosh, thank you.
It's over already.
Thanks a lot.
You don't need to take us off.
Yeah, I wish I could ask more.
Thank you, guys. And so this concludes the hot seat. Kenneth, I just want to hear from you. Did you feel like you got some value from our amazing mentor?
Yeah.